Avengers: Secret Wars. The Multiverse Saga Finale, Marvel's biggest event since Endgame. Originally slated for May 2027, pushed twice, first to a later May window, then again to December 17th, 2027. The reason for the delay is directly tied to Avengers: Doomsday. When the Russo brothers took over the project after Marvel parted ways with Jonathan Majors, the entire two-film structure had to be rewritten. Doomsday needed more room. Secret Wars needed to shift back to make sure both films had the space they deserved. The result is a film that will arrive exactly 1 year after Doomsday. Two events, back-to-back, the way the original Infinity War and Endgame did in 2018 and 2019. Kevin Feige told Variety in 2025 that Secret Wars will offer the studio a chance for a creative and narrative reset. That single quote is the most important thing anyone at Marvel has said about the film. Secret Wars is not just the end of a story, it is the reset button for the entire MCU. Everything Marvel has built since Endgame will collapse into Battleworld. Doctor Doom will reign over the fragments. The heroes will fight to remember. Then a new universe will emerge. Whatever comes after Secret Wars is essentially a fresh start. Stephen McFeely, the screenwriter of Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, is writing the film. The Russo brothers are directing again. Filming reportedly begins mid-2026 once Doomsday post-production clears. Marvel's most ambitious film ever. The third Russo Avengers film. The biggest scoop from the Cosmic Circus report. Alex Perez confirmed the Russo brothers are actively working on a third Avengers film beyond Doomsday and Secret Wars. Marvel has not officially announced this project yet, but multiple insiders, including Astonishing Scoop, had already suggested Secret Wars might be split into two parts. Perez's report confirms it. There is a third film in development. Whether it releases as Secret Wars Part 2 or under a different title remains to be seen. History suggests Marvel will rebrand it. The original plan for Infinity War Part 2 eventually became Endgame. The studio realized that giving the second film a completely different title made it feel like its own event rather than a sequel. The third Russo film could follow the same playbook. The narrative purpose of a third Russo Avengers film makes sense given Marvel's history. The Multiverse Saga's biggest structural mistake was going years between Avengers films. Between Endgame in 2019 and Doomsday in 2026, 7 full years passed without an Avengers movie. That gap hurt the connective tissue of every project in between. Marvel is not making that mistake again. A third Russo film sitting somewhere in 2028 or 2029 would establish the new Avengers team of the Reset Universe, introduce the new lineup, set the stage for the next saga. Alex Perez said Marvel wants a solo Avengers film to establish who the new team is. The X-Men film will do that for the mutants. The Avengers need the same treatment. This is Marvel course-correcting in real time. The X-Men reboot. The mutant chapter of the MCU officially begins on May 5th, 2028. The date also marks the 20th anniversary of the MCU. Jake Schreier is directing. He is the same filmmaker who just delivered Thunderbolts. Marvel gave him the biggest project of the next decade based on that performance alone. The script is being written by Lee Sung-jin, the creator of Beef, and Joanna Kalo, the showrunner of The Bear, two of the most acclaimed television creators working today. Marvel is trying to build the X-Men reboot with the same prestige energy Sony brought to Into the Spider-Verse. The talent behind the camera is elite. This is not the Fox X-Men team. The Fox cast returning in Doomsday is essentially a farewell tour for those legacy characters. The new X-Men film introduces a fresh cast. A new Professor X, a new Magneto, a new Cyclops, a new Storm, a new Jean Grey. The rumored setup is that Sadie Sink's mystery character in Spider-Man Brand New Day is actually the MCU's new Jean Grey. If that theory is true, then Brand New Day is quietly the first film of the New Mutant era. Other new X-Men may debut in Secret Wars during the Reset event. Then the full team assembles for the 2028 film. This is the reboot fans have wanted for years. Not variants, not cameos, not multiversal borrowing. A completely fresh X-Men in the main MCU with the resources of Marvel Studios behind them. The mutant saga starts here. Black Panther 3. Ryan Coogler is coming back. He confirmed Black Panther 3 is his next project after Sinners. Pre-production began in late 2025. Nate Moore is returning to produce. Denzel Washington is confirmed to appear in the film. Coogler mentioned him in a June 2025 interview. The casting rumors have been swirling for months. The strongest report suggests a new adult version of T'Challa is being introduced, which T'Challa is unclear. Could be Marvel bringing back the character through the multiverse. Could be introducing T'Challa's son Toussaint from the ending of Wakanda Forever Grown Up. Coogler has kept the specifics tight. What is confirmed is that a new King of Wakanda is arriving in this film. Then Alex Perez dropped the detail that changed everything. Black Panther 3 will have supernatural elements. That single word reshapes what fans should expect. The previous two Black Panther films were grounded in Afrofuturism and technology, vibranium science, political drama. The supernatural angle opens the door to characters like Bast, the Panther god, Killmonger's return from the ancestral plane, Storm's arrival from the mystical side, even a possible connection to Blade or the Midnight Suns if Marvel wants to bridge the supernatural corner of the universe. Black Panther 3 could be the film that introduces Storm to the MCU, which would then set up her X-Men debut. Everything connects. Ryan Coogler is quietly building a bridge between Wakanda and the mutants. The film releases in 2028, either as the first post-Secret Wars film or shortly after. If you're loving these breakdowns, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. We've got more coming. Let's keep going. Spider-Man 5. Tom Holland's fifth solo Spider-Man film. Amy Pascal has confirmed multiple times that a fifth film is in active development. The contract negotiations that everyone has been reading between the lines suggest Holland is signed for 6 total Spider-Man films. Brand New Day is his fourth, which means we get a fifth and a sixth. The MCU is not letting go of Tom Holland's Peter Parker yet. Whatever happens at the end of Brand New Day is not the end of the story. It is the setup for the next chapter. The likely direction is symbiotes and Miles Morales. Brand New Day is reportedly planting the seed of the Venom symbiote appearing in the MCU. If that leak proves accurate, then Spider-Man 5 becomes the film where Peter finally puts on the black suit. The comic symbiote saga adapted into live action. Then Miles Morales enters the picture. Tom Holland has publicly said he wants Miles Morales in the MCU. He wants to be the one who helps set that up. Alex Perez suggested that Spider-Man 5 and 6 will be the films that introduce Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen, the 3 Spider people together. The full Spider-Verse coming to life action for the first time. If Marvel and Sony execute this correctly, the Spider-Man saga of the next chapter becomes as big as the Avengers saga. Spider-Man films make money. Fans show up. Marvel knows this. Spider-Man 5 is the film that expands the franchise beyond a single Peter Parker. Shang-Chi 2. Alex Perez confirmed it. Marvel is actively working on Shang-Chi 2. Simu Liu has been publicly frustrated about how long the sequel has taken. Now the sequel is officially in development. Destin Daniel Cretton was originally attached to direct. Then Marvel pulled him to direct Spider-Man Brand New Day instead. Cretton has become one of Marvel's most trusted filmmakers. He directed Shang-Chi 1, produced Wonder Man, and is now delivering Brand New Day. His track record is elite. Marvel keeping faith in him for Shang-Chi 2 shows how much they value what he does with these characters. The direction of Shang-Chi 2 is not fully confirmed, but the setup at the end of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings pointed toward 2 specific storylines. The Ten Rings were sending a signal into space. Something out there was answering. That plot thread has never been resolved. Shang-Chi 2 is likely where the answer comes. The comic reader theory is that the 5-Weapon Society will be introduced. That is the storyline Jean Luen Yang wrote for the Shang-Chi comic. The 5-Weapon Society is essentially a rival organization of martial arts-based heroes. Alex Perez mentioned there is also fan interest in Iron Fist appearing in Shang-Chi 2, the Thunderbolts sequel plus Midnight Suns. 2 projects that Alex Perez confirmed are being developed together. The Thunderbolts sequel is happening. Marvel considers the original Thunderbolts one of the biggest successes of the entire multiverse saga. Continuing that team makes obvious sense. Florence Pugh's Yelena is the emotional anchor Marvel wants to keep at the center of the darker Avengers team. The sequel is likely to introduce new members. Bullseye from Daredevil Born Again is the most obvious candidate. Wilson Bethel's character has been established as one of the deadliest killers in the MCU. Adding him to a team of morally gray heroes fits perfectly. The idea of a dark Avengers-style team facing off against the mainline Avengers is the direction Alex Perez suggests Marvel is heading. Then there is Midnight Suns, the supernatural Avengers team from the comics. Alex Perez suggested Blade might be absorbed into Midnight Suns rather than getting his own solo film. That would resolve the years-long Blade production nightmare while giving the character a proper introduction. Mahershala Ali's Blade acting as the Nick Fury figure who assembles the team, bringing in Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Dane Whitman as the Black Knight, Elsa Bloodstone, even the Punisher potentially. The supernatural corner of the MCU finally gets its own team. Doctor Strange 3 is on the back burner. The most disappointing news from the Cosmic Circus report. Alex Perez confirmed Doctor Strange 3 is currently on the back burner at Marvel Studios. The film has been delayed indefinitely. Fans have been waiting for the third Strange film since Multiverse of Madness in 2022. Marvel originally planned Doctor Strange 3 to come before Avengers Kang Dynasty. Strange's story arc was going to build toward the multiversal event. When Marvel scrapped Kang and pivoted to Doctor Doom, the entire slate had to be reshuffled. Strange's storyline got absorbed into Doomsday and Secret Wars instead of a solo film. That leaves a major open question. Does Stephen Strange even survive Secret Wars? Multiple insiders have suggested Strange may die during the film. Others believe he is one of the few characters guaranteed to make it into the Reset universe because his magical connection to the multiverse is too important to the story going forward. Alex Perez is not certain either way. The backburner status of Doctor Strange 3 could mean two things. Either Marvel is waiting to see how his arc resolves in Secret Wars before deciding on the sequel, or the film is quietly being killed off entirely as the character transitions into a smaller role in the next chapter. Benedict Cumberbatch has never publicly indicated he is leaving the MCU, but the shelving of Doctor Strange 3 is the strongest signal yet that Marvel's mystical corner is being repositioned. Whatever happens to Strange in Secret Wars will define whether we ever see Doctor Strange 3 or not. For now, the film sits in limbo.